Hello. I think I did it. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you nailed it, mate.
I'm so fucking good at my shit job. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number 1966. That's right, Cole. It's the year where it all came home.
It's coming home. It's coming.
Did it?
Football almost came home.
It was so
I don't
close.
remember much of it because I was really drunk, but I'm pretty sure we lost. I haven't watched the highlights yet. Did we win?
Tell you what, I won't spoil it. I won't spoil it for you. I'll let you watch the highlights in the background while I do this
That's the
intro.
future. That is the future, not being allowed to talk about football results.
Oh, bloody hell.
Oh,
Here we go.
spoilers! I haven't watched the VOD back yet of England versus Italy. Jerks, a lot of them.
What?
Idiots.
I hate you, first of all, but I hate that you've gone for the straw man argument of that's where all of this is bloody headed. All of this social justice is going to all the spoilers and everything. Sure.
Cats
Back in my
marrying
day,
dogs. Yeah, go on.
there was one cat and it married one dog. It was Adam and Eve, not Sancho missing a penalty. All right.
God, that's depressing. Why have you mentioned
do you
Sancho
mean?
missing a penalty? We do not talk about Sancho missing penalties, okay?
Should have scored it theoretically. What you
Put it
can
in
do
the
though,
net.
Cole, is you can score easily. So easily, in fact, that if you have the rocket-league.com mobile application of sorts,
The mobile.
the mobile app, Lakash then you are going to be able to trade on the freaking go. I'm going to do something a little bit new here.
Oh.
We'll
Advertise
talk
it well?
about them in a little bit.
Why?
I don't know. I've been listening to podcasts and they do that. They
Is
say,
that so they
more on
sucker
this
the
later.
idiots? That's so they sucker the idiots in. Is that Jake and Amir?
It
The
may or
one
may
podcast
not-
you listen to.
It may or may not be Jake and Amir. It may or may
Right,
not be. That's all I'm saying.
how did Jake and Amir do it then? Tell me.
Well, actually, to be fair, they say they at the start of an episode, they'll basically have like a load of them recorded. So like they've got like a website sponsor, Squarespace, that they've always had sponsored, right? And every episode, or every sort of like maybe 10 episodes, they'll do like sort of a new ad read. Essentially, they just like plop the chunk in.
Proper chunk, yep.
Yeah, they'll plop the chunk. So then they'll come up with websites that you can buy right now, and it's always dumb ones, and like they try and justify them. So like what the other one the other day was quite funny. It was nofreaking.com, and it's just stuff like that. And Amir was like trying to justify why that's a good website and why you can use that for your business.
I feel a little bit like you've said, all right, we'll talk about rocket-league.com, the brilliant trading website that also has a mobile app, 4 million users with hundreds of thousands of trade listings.
Yeah.
And then before we talk about them, let's talk about Squarespace or whatever the hell it is we're talking about. Let's talk about the ones that aren't sponsored.
Let's talk
paying
about a
us
different sponsor.
a pretty penny to appear on our content, right?
Well-
Few $1,000 trillion we're getting from
Just
rocket-league.com
a
with
few.
4 million users per month and hundreds of thousands of trade listings.
Yeah.
I'd prefer to talk about them, pal, rather than shitty Squarespace.
It's actually Squarespace, the leading provider of websites in the United States and other territories. If you would like to have a website as good as rocket-league.com, hire their coders, because I don't imagine they use any of that trash, any of that pre-made, prefab nonsense.
It would be funny if they did. If rocket-league.com were like, oh yeah, we love Squarespace. That and WordPress.
Yeah, we're actually a WordPress blog. How? How have you done that?
The
That's
most
incredible.
popular. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to hear this ad read later, stay tuned.
I love the fact that the first time we had rocket-league.com as a sponsor, I put in as a tiny little throwaway joke, you won't ever miss a bogey green grog again.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking at the notes. You've copied and pasted those notes. You've never changed that. So
every
still,
time.
for people listening, for
You
people
won't.
watching the video version of this, they will see in the text, you won't ever miss a bogey green grog again. But it's true.
And I've also got, if you're in the kitchen with your dad or some other boring chore, as if your dad is the chore, you can check the in-game store items or even trade items and ditch the bitch.
Ditch the bitch. What does it feel like to ditch one's dad?
I don't know, because you've had it,
Opposite
obviously, yeah, you've vice versa that situation. You've Freaky Friday'd your dad.
But I was too young to realise that I was being ditched like a bitch, so does it count?
Do you reckon your dad said that as he walked out the door with his bin bag full of heroin?
Do you reckon he was annoyed at me for being too young? He's like, oh, you're boring, you're too young.
This
Be
won't
older.
scar you.
Be more toddleristic, yeah.
The older
ginger
Emil would have
bastard.
been offended by this. If you want to
You
hear
didn't
more
know
of
my
this
name.
ad read from us later on, make sure that you keep listening because we've got some very, very, very big stories coming up. We're not going to be starting off with England. A lot of people would want us to. You know, a lot of people would think there's been a carefully crafted order to this list, but there isn't. The first one is actually me being annoyed at Gregan. To be honest, that's my first one. Actually, before that, no, post that.
Make your mind up. Where are we starting?
We're going to start with rocket-league.com. Thank you for the sponsor. Cole, IWO has completed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The main story out of that is that England didn't win. Or the UK, or whatever the fuck.
That's what everyone's talking about. Yeah, the thing is that, like, I know that France won. I can't even remember the other finalists. I just remember that it wasn't versus Great Britain.
Yeah.
God save the Queen. And
Really
all that.
good Britain. Really, really good Britain.
I like that everyone just calls us great because we said we're called Great Britain. Imagine if Germany tried to rename itself to Brilliant Germany. Do you think anybody would go for it?
Well, they rebranded from West and East, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, if they changed their name to Best Germany, like West Germany became Best Germany, how tilted would you be if you're an East German? You'd be like,
oh man.
what do you mean? But then they were like starving, weren't they?
North Korea is best Korea. Is that still a meme?
That's a vintage meme.
It is. That's old school. That's like the dig.com days. You ever used Dig?
God, I didn't use Dig. No, I don't remember
what it
when
is?
I used Reddit. Yeah, it was pre-Reddit. Then Dig did bad design decisions. And then Reddit became Reddit.
They had a redesign. So basically, Dig had power users. I don't know how it happened, but basically a small cluster of people, if they submitted something to Dig, it would always make the front page.
Like Gallowboob on Reddit. He's like a big old user. He reposts everything.
That's true. They do exist, but Reddit is still a meritocracy in the sense that if I submit something to Reddit, if I'm the first person to submit it, it will make it to the top. Whereas on Dig, if I submitted a page first, somebody else who was a power user would submit a link to the link, if that makes sense, and that one would generate the traction.
Right,
so there was all sorts of political bullshit with Dig. And then people were annoyed by it. And then eventually, they said, hey, here's our redesign. I can't remember what they did. They like made it bloggy or social media-y or something, and it just...
Okay. Just went trash.
And then when people went to Reddit, yeah.
I remember the first time I went on Reddit was I saw a link on Twitter and I clicked it and I was so annoyed it took me to a different website. And I was like, for fuck's sake, I just want to look at this, probably porn. I just want to look at this, God's sake.
It's probably porn.
And then I was, and then I think it told me to make an account. So I was like, yeah, fine, I'll make an account. And then to be fair, that was in like...
You made an account?
What? Like
you would never do that nowadays.
Nowadays,
if
I'd sign in with Google and forget. Yeah.
If I linked you to some content and I said this would change your life, all you have to do is read it. It'll take you 10 seconds. You will literally be happier, handsomer, have larger genitals or smaller genitals, depending on what you're
Smaller,
after.
please.
And you had to make an account. All you had to do was click I confirm. You wouldn't do it, would you? Wouldn't bother.
But I wouldn't bother, but not out of principle. Out
Laziness.
of sheer laziness. I love a sign in with Google. I love a sign in with Facebook. Any of them. Every now and then it will give you like a sign in with fucking Bebo. And it's like, piss off. Google's there. I'm clearly going with the Goog, aren't I? And I made an account. My account's going on 10 years old now. I think in July. Hang on, is my account now 10 years old? Let me just open
While
up a
you
new
search
tab
for that,
and then-
I can tell the people that my account, for some reason, was made on my birthday. My Reddit
Your
cake
real
day
birthday.
is the 6th of August, which is my birthday, yeah. I don't know why I made it on my birthday one year, but I did.
That's fun. I've registered for
Yeah.
10 years. July
Nice.
1st. I made it July 1st, 2011 at 20 past 8, apparently.
4 years before Rocket League came out, you were already Redditing,
Yeah.
building up
Redditing
your
for a long, long
brand,
time.
making your name. /r/Stumpy Goblin was getting its first
man.
tentative subscribers.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant stuff. Yeah, gosh. 10 years old my Reddit account is now. That's nuts. That's old.
That's when I started uni.
I was going to say I was in July. It would have been summer holidays at that point, and I was going into year 12. So my A levels, my A2s. So I'd just done my ASs, failed them miserably. I was begging to redo biology, and they let me.
Oh, good.
Oh.
And then you didn't you scrape what you needed in the end?
Yeah, I cheated.
Did you? Did you really?
Not cheated. This is in like an informal exam. Basically, what happened was I ended up I I got in my school, you had to get a certain grade. I think you had to get like a B to go from your first year of your advanced qualifications. For any people who don't know what an A level is, your AS is. You had to get a B to then go on and study at the higher level for your A2, essentially. And you start off with 4 in AS, then you drop 1, and then you go into then your A2s, right? Well, that's how it worked at my school anyway. And yeah, I think I got a D in biology. And it was awful. And they were just like, well, you can't do it again. Like, you were so far away from the grade that you needed. And I just completely ruined it. And so I ended up saying to them, like, literally at like the meeting when you picked up all of your like grades and stuff, I said, okay, come on. Come on.
Ever the wordsmith is Stumpy Goblin. What's the thing from that game? You know, the one where it's like number 100 out of 100 speech.
Monty, Skyrim, speech 100. And they're going, come on. I basically did.
I feed you the reference, and you know what I'm getting on about.
I knock it out of the park. It hits a sidewall, but we tried. They just said, right, what you can do then is you can start your A2s, so the ones that basically you'd need to do well in to get to university. But a month into that, we're going to give you another, but you're basically going to redo one of the previous exams for the one that you just fucked up. I was like, okay, that's fine. And so what I thought is, my teacher was quite old. So I thought, well, she's clearly going to pick one of the latest 3 exams that are available as PDFs online, isn't she?
Nice, yeah.
So I just studied those 3. And she sat down in the office. She handed me one. It was the 3rd one. I was like, oh,
that's not cheating.
Beautiful.
That's ingenuity.
And I could have got an A star, but I think I went with a high B because I don't want it to be too sus.
Oh, what, you literally threw? You threw some
it a bit,
results?
I threw it a bit so it wasn't too sus, yeah.
Why? You didn't cheat.
No, because...
You should have got the A star.
Mate,
if you'd have got an A star in biology, you would be saying to this day, I got an A star at AS or A2 level.
At uni,
difficult.
I would have done, but I would have said that, but then I got out of that when I'm done with uni. I'm basically past the statute of limitations. I'd then be like, yeah, no, I just looked at the exam, lol. If I saw my teacher again, I would tell her. She would be annoyed with me, and I'd be like...
You'd give the poor old biddy a heart attack.
She's pretty retired now. She was fine.
Probably.
She said words weirdly. She was a little bit annoying.
This is a story that needs an example. Just one.
Yeah, I've got one in my mind where she was talking about like cells and stuff. We were talking about like organelles and the mitochondria and bits like that. And she was saying about like cell signaling, right? And she was like talking about like this cell signaling and like saying how vital it was like in the cells and whatever like that. And I was writing down signaling, right, as if it was like sort of a thing. And then I got like 3 lessons in. Like, what the? I don't know. Like, I asked a mate. I was like, "What is cell signaling?" Because she's not actually explained what cell signaling is. Okay. Turns out she was just saying cell signaling, like as in how cells signal to each other.
Right.
And I was like, for fuck's sake! But she just couldn't say signaling correctly.
Was she Irish?
No, she just spoke like a fucking idiot.
Let me rephrase. Was she Irish?
Yes. So yeah, that was a little bit
cell
annoying.
signaling. Wow.
Yeah, then
nice.
in my exams I got B, D, E. I did not do well. Those are my grades going into uni.
I got CCB and my B was in media,
good.
So that doesn't count.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well,
that's like
because
sociology.
the C's were in English Lit and English Language. So clearly I've made the statement saying I'm fucking sick at words. Sign me up. I'll get you some A's. A levels. And I'll get the average C's. Yeah, because it was bullshit. There was no writing. English Lit was just reading other shit books. It's like I could do better than this.
Red means
English
hot
language
or angry.
That bullshit, right?
Yeah.
English language was actually quite interesting, but I wasn't ready for it. It was about etymology and syntax and sentence structure.
And the great vowel shift.
I don't know that one.
Do you not know the great vowel shift?
Is that ooh instead of o or something? Like
it's just like throughout the like Middle Ages and stuff when people couldn't like speak proper and like people like couldn't read obviously apart from if you were like a monk. And then like there was this one point over the course of like 50 years or something where like, all the vowels changed from like ye olde or whatever, obviously being ye old, changed from that to then getting rid of the e on the end of oldie and sort of like all the vowels shifted now to I think now what we know. It was like the biggest shift essentially.
There is a word because the thing about etymology, right? And I'm not an expert, but I know 3% of it. I have an interest in the sense that I hear someone say something, I'm like, oh, that's interesting, then I forget. So that's my knowledge of this. But I was intrigued by the fact that probably was turning into probably. Because I always try and say probably, right? And I searched, and there's a word for it. There's a word where words did have b, and it just turns into blah.
Okay.
And there's loads of them. Like, to make up an example, London might have used to be called London, and then over time it turns into London, right?
Yeah.
And there's a specific word for that. And I just love the fact that there's a word for literally everything. I can find it if you want.
I'd like to know that, because I like stuff like that. There was I saw a really, really good, talking about like that London example. There was a really,
which
really
I just
good
made up
channel.
for the record.
Yeah.
That's not an actual example.
There's a really good channel called Jay Foreman. I think I sent you one of the videos where I said their scripting is incredible. It's called Map Men. And it's like an 8-minute video, and they've done loads of them in this series, and they just explore old maps, and like they talk about like bits and bobs that have happened. But firstly, watch the videos they're scripting, Cole. You'll be blown away by how fucking funny and good they are, and their presentation is exactly what I want to aim for.
Okay.
Just brilliant stuff. And secondly, they talk about like place names, like going from like Worcestershire or Worcester.
That's a good example.
That like that was again another example of like monks being able to write it down. But then people, like, it was useful like Worcestershire or something. And then gradually it then just became Worcester. But then it's still spelled because people were speaking it differently, but the monks were still writing it the same. So they then therefore didn't sync up.
I've got examples. I found the article that I found.
Okay.
So it's called, and it's a brilliant name, haplology. They've actually chucked in an example because
that
when
could
you're
be
speaking... Haplogy, right? Or haplogy, yeah, something like that, if you're mumbling a little bit, right? So they give some other examples. Library, instead of library or library.
Library, yeah.
Yeah, apparently some dialects will say necessary instead of necessary, which I wouldn't,
Necessary.
I'd say necessary.
I'd
but
say
that's
necessary, yeah. Because I'm not poor.
Instead of interpretative.
Interpretative instead of interpretive. Oh, I thought there were two words, are they not?
Apparently
like
not,
interpretive, like interpretive dance. Is it not interpretive dance? It's interpretive.
No, interpretative
dance. Well, I did not know that.
You know, I had London as my example. There's actually a reason, because looking at it, they give England as an example, which must have been where London came from in my head, which used to be Englerland, originally land of the Angles.
Anglo-Saxon. Starring
Emma
Stones. Emma Stone? Emma Stone and Ryan
Emma
Gosling.
Watson.
And Emma Watson as Emma Watson in La La Land, in La La Land. That was fun. That was fun to dive into etymology. I find that very interesting.
Pacifist used to be pacifist.
See, that's fucking dumb, though. Clearly at the time, they were thinking that's dumb.
Humbly used to be humbly.
Humbly.
Mm-hmm.
Humbly.
Now,
like humbly
now
yours.
Now, Humble Lee is like a
Go on.
London gangster. But he doesn't want much. You know, they're all battling to be top dog.
What, mate?
Right?
How you doing? Oh, mate.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, your hair looks lovely today, mate. It's really, really, really nice hair, that, mate.
Humble doesn't mean nice. He can still be a prick.
No,
but
no,
he's just
I'm
modest himself.
I'm playing the other person, and then you were meant to be Humble Lee.
Oh, and then I'm like, no, it's not that bad. I'm actually balding
Yeah.
on each side, and I'm ginger and ugly.
exactly. Yeah.
Sorry, I thought that you'd misunderstood
That's
Humble.
okay. No, that's good. Don't worry.
But I'd misunderstood you.
That's okay. Should we move on to Greg and being a prick? So that all your listeners can't hear you nod.
No, because so now you don't get me. I'm thinking that's the perfect place to chuck in.
Oh, you're gonna
blah 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 blah.
Yeah, but the video doesn't have that because I don't edit it.
Well, edit it then.
Oh,
you don't edit it. That's apology. You don't edit. Edited
it. Edited it. Well, did you tell me this, or did somebody in a video tell me this?
Oh.
Because somebody said I edited it. I edited it. It's just a nice thing to say. I edited it.
I remember hearing that Stephen Fry, when doing the Harry Potter audiobooks, couldn't say pocketed it.
Yes, I saw the video for that, yeah.
Begged J.K. Rowling to not use that phrase again.
And recognise trans people exist.
And so J.K. Rowling said...
no to
just
both?
Put it in. Yeah. Yeah, she put it in the next book as well. So poor old Stephen Fry had to say pocketed.
Oh, isn't it in every book?
Is it in every book?
I think it's in every Harry Potter book.
Harry pocketed it. It's fun to say, Harry pocketed it.
Yeah, but if you're Stephen Fry, you're too posh for that. I read
Harry
a story
pocketed it.
that he was like a menace. Like when he was younger, he was at like a posh school, and at one point he escaped from a class and just went on the roof. And was like, but like it was a posh school, and like it was a big old roof. Was it part of like an autobiography? Because I don't think I've read his autobiography, but I also don't know how else I'd know that.
I feel like, so I do voiceovers, right? You do voiceovers.
Fleeting knowledge, yeah.
I feel like voiceovers are easier for Stephen Fry and David Attenborough. No one's going to say to David Attenborough, oh yeah, could you just emphasize the P sound a bit more? They'll say, that's perfect. You've absolutely Attenborough'd that.
Yeah.
Same for Stephen Fry. He only has to do one take. As long as he doesn't stumble, it's okay because it's his voice. Whereas for you and me, who have objectively bad voices,
Of course.
we've got to actually perform each syllable. And if we get it, if we get the emphasis on a word slightly wrong, it sounds bad because we don't sound famously like Stephen Fry or David Attenborough.
One thing
Hacks. They are hacks.
that I do like hearing is everybody's caster voice. Because everyone's got one. Like, nobody speaks normally when they cast. Even the pros. Like, maybe Achieves, actually. Achieves is very close to his normal voice, to be fair. But, like, everybody. Your Johnny Boys, your Shoguns, your Coles, your Stumpies. And it was fun watching IWO, which we're going to be getting on with, where people were putting on their cast voice when they got in-game. Everyone sounded, obviously, like the standard themselves on the desk. And then we would do the same thing. This isn't a slight whatsoever. It's just part of the job, lol. Where then people would then go into, and here we are doing this voice now. Look at K-Dog going up the wall, whatever. So it's always quite fun to watch. Huh?
Was that Tylacto? Is that you had in mind when you did that one? That's who I heard there.
Going up the wall. Craftman, please step in for me.
Oh, yeah, poor old Tylacto. Right, so hands up in the chat. I am looking. Who watched any of the Intel World Opens? If you didn't, you missed out.
I did.
You missed out on Gregan being a prick, subbing in for Nolly. Yeah, hands up for me as well. Versus the Czech Republic. 3-0ing them. Lol, brilliant notes. Gregan was absolutely sick, by the way. Like, it's not just he was out of position, but statistically he looked okay. He was genuinely brilliant. I was so happy for him when I saw that, when he was smashing poor old... It's very much punching down against Lorty.
Yeah, it does kind of make me happy that they went on and lost.
But that was without Gregan, though. That was with Nolly back
I know, but like it's still funny that they lost anyway. Because it wasn't cockiness out of it.
Well, you realise that actually, if anything, gives Gregan more reason to have an ego.
What, playing against the worst team?
No, the fact that then when they didn't play with him, they lost. History will say, with Gregan, they smashed it. Without Gregan, they got done by whoever beat them in the semi-finals.
Gregan actually put an amazing comment on the subreddit regarding this. Some put on like the match thread or whatever. Is Gregan playing because Nolly hasn't woken up? LMAO. Gregan replied saying, "We were resting Nolly for the finals. We have a deep talent pool in the squad at Team UK and wanted to give some of the up-and-coming talent experience. As coach, I made the decision to let our sub play, knowing full well the team was capable of winning still. This poses as a great decision for the future of UK Rocket League, as we now have more players with experience at the national level." Brilliant. It's such a fucking Gregan answer, and it's brilliant.
Well, I mean, it is a Gregan answer, and we've been promoting squad rotation for a very long time here on twitch.tv/subpar_in_HD, saying that sometimes players just need a day off, right? If they're not playing very well, take them out the firing line. They'll come back stronger. History has proven us right, and Gregan
inspired.
Is now on side. Gregan has actually disagreed with us about bringing in a sub tactically in esports before. I remember on this very podcast. And now look at him. Shock! You and I were right. Whenever you and I disagree with everyone, we end up being right. 1 billion% of the time.
It's actually genuinely incredible how often it turns out that we are correct.
Yeah.
It's impressive. I like it. Gregan's actually just resubbed. People can't see this. He said, "It was all banter. Literally begged Nolly to let me play. Lol." Look, he's put lol clearly through tears, by the way. But yeah, Gregan ended up placing second in the top 10 performers, outperforming K-Dop, who literally won. Which is quite
in 3
funny.
games as well.
Yeah, it went Fireman Jonas 17 games, Gregan 3, K-Dop 24. Very funny. I liked it a lot. So IWO was done. I've also got the table and other shit here, but like we don't really care. France won. That's basically all that matters. And the USA won.
I like the symmetry as well. So USA 3, Canada 0. Oh, that's big.
Sorry, I've just moved it. I couldn't read it.
You small-eyed goblin. And then, well, stop moving it. And then Canada 3-0'd Brazil. And then Canada 3-0'd United States. And then the United States 3-0'd Canada. So look at that symmetry.
And
it's
also,
beautiful.
United States 3-0'd Canada earlier on.
Yeah. Oh, you mean in
the winners' final?
Yes, so that's where the symmetry started. So 3-0 US v Canada, then 3-0 Brazil, then 3-0, then 3-0. So, yeah.
I like that. Cool, well done. Is that Miraca as the United States? That was Chicago et al.
Garrett, first killer, and Chicago, yeah.
Nice. I just saw Chicago's tweaks. It was on really late for us. It's on like a really awkward time.
I need to catch up with Chicago's YouTube content, which I've shouted out before, but I'll do it again because he's making a series of why X is the best player. And he's gone through Turbo, gone through Garrett, gone through Justin.
I was already a liar then.
So I need to go through that and just take notes. Like, I haven't noticed that before. He's so fucking smart. He's so smart.
I was chatting to my electrician the other day, and he's a massive Rocket League fan.
Does he know as much as Chicago?
Probably not as much, but he did recognise me in my village. He's that guy. Really nice guy, lovely bloke. I won't be telling you his name. I won't be telling you his business because it shows where I live. He does all my electrics. Very nice guy. And he was fixing my TV aerial, and he was saying, "I'm watching a lot of Scrub Killer recently." And we just started speaking about that. And I was saying about Apparently Jack and everything. He was like, "Oh my god, Apparently Jack is amazing." Blah blah. And then he was just talking about all that stuff. But like, I just liked hearing that people who are into the esport that I wouldn't normally talk to about it are watching all this other YouTube content as well.
They're out
there. It makes me
there.
very happy. Yeah, he said he was very happy that lots of people are now making content too, because it's just brilliant, and it's not boring, shitty Road to SSL. God, I'm so happy that Road to Grand Champ series are dying. I've hated them. I hate them so much. Apart from Doomsy's 1v1 series,
they're okay. They're interesting at times to see what they're thinking and what they're doing. I prefer them to be highlights rather than full matches. I also prefer them to be retroactive rather than speaking as they play. Apart from Apparently Jack, who has that ability to do both at the same time without dropping a beat. Most of them have to drop a beat, which is understandable.
Yeah. Even Jack stops like in defense every now and then. He'll literally stop mid-sentence, like save it, and then he'll then explain what just happened. So
what? You didn't tell me that. You told me he was doing a consistent, beautiful piece of prose as he played Rocket League. Poetry was spewing out the boy's mouth.
The one issue that I have with Road to Grand Champ / SSL series is that it's all pros, which is fine, but they will all win. The one example I've seen repeatedly, I have seen it in chat again, is that Rizzo did lose a silver match. That's one example, which fair play sounds very funny. Out of the how many hundreds of episodes that there have been, it's very much not content for me. How did he lose a
silver match?
I don't know.
I don't think I could lose a silver match. I don't think anyone watching this could lose a silver match, apart from maybe Gregan.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm excited that there's now more inspired, I suppose, like content coming out from pros as well. And like different stuff. Tell you what though, a good Road to series, one that was actually started by Scrub, and it was the Road to 1v2. Yeah, brilliant idea. Absolutely brilliant idea. Love that a lot. Absolutely brilliant stuff. All right. Otherwise,
but just quickly before we move on, can we have a little chat about the crew that casted the Intel World Open? Because you brought it up earlier, and I think it was my fault. I think I moved us along a little bit quickly, but they did an absolutely stunning job. So Stumpy and I were part of. We were part of the Intel World Open for the online casting. And for the online casting. And when we were online, it was hosted before us by Jar of Jam and Stax, who have been in Poland for about 6 weeks at this point, as has F-Dot, and I believe Supersonic has been there the whole time as well.
Supersonic's been there for, I think, about the same amount of time as Stax. And they flew out together, actually. I think they were there for maybe a month or so. I know F-Dot has been there for a very long time, as has Jammers.
Yeah, they've been on a mad Polish one. Absolute respect to them. But they have been joined by Ireleak, by Digital Bacon, by Dilacto, by Craftman. Who am I forgetting? Who am I missing? Probably some people.
I presumed you'd have the page up. Get the page
up. I've got the page up. I've got the page up for the Americas. Let's see if EMEA is different. Because it's all split up into different things.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Buntswa was the observer. I wonder if he was in Poland. I'm not sure.
Ben is
I'm not sure if he was there.
But that's fine.
He's a prick, but he's a good observer. Good at his job. He's good enough at his job to be a prick. You know, he gets away with it.
That's fair.
I think I've said everybody that was there, I believe. And they all did a flawless job. Bearing in mind, a lot of these guys, especially the English guys, don't have too much experience commentating in studio.
Any in-studio work, really. Like I think Craftman has been as part of the Gfinity Elite series. He stepped in when we were away.
He did, didn't he?
Which was amazing.
Season 6 Worlds.
Yeah. But otherwise, I think that it's not even like commentating experience. They've not really got any in-studio experience. Yeah. And they did such a good job.
They just stepped up completely. They were brilliant. They were wonderful. All of their voices were great. Linnea, she walked past when I was watching a little bit of I think it was Craftman and Stax, because Stax had to step in for Tylacto. And Linnea said that just from half listening, she thought it was Johnny Boy because of the deep Scottish voice. When I said that was Craftman, she was like, he's really good.
Nice.
So he got some genuine non-prompted praise from my objective girlfriend, which was lovely. And anything else specifically to mention other than the fact that they were all really good?
I thought the set was amazing. We saw it like behind the scenes. I think some behind the scenes pictures were taken, but it's just entirely green. Just the entire thing. It's a green box that they exist in. They did an amazing job. They all looked incredible. Like I said, the sound of them was brilliant. I felt very proud, like, watching it. I had it on in the background while I was doing other bits of my office. Currently is a fucking mess, but like as I was kind of like clearing bits around, I was in the background and like just listening to them like was so nice, and seeing them in person together. Like, I saw Tylacto and Stax together. I was like, but that's not meant to happen. Like that's not what actually happens though, because we were meant to be going out there to be doing the IWO as well, and it can neatly segue into we have a new TV show.
Hey, and
we're doing this instead. That gaming show.
One each.
Wrong
Gaming.
Side. Gaming.
Yeah, nice. There we go. I love that.
My word, it has been so much fun to be back in a studio, like working. Sorry, you can see the next headline. Crypto is annoying me. I want to get that out of the way. That gaming show on Jinx TV. You can watch it also online. For anyone who's just thinking right now, oh, okay, that's Jinx. You've spoken about your old TV show. I couldn't watch that because it wasn't in my territory. It is all free globally on jinx.tv. At the top, click videos and you'll see that gaming show. My God, like, just, I don't even know where to start with it. So we were basically pitched an idea for this show quite a while ago. After the DDL, sort of put on the back burner. I was like, okay, we'll wait till we get back in the studio for it. This show essentially came back out, where then we were thinking, okay, what can we do that is like nice? What can we do that is more exciting, with different things and in a new set? And that's kind of how this was born, because the idea is we want to make it different from when we were recording at home. It was, all right, we sit here in our offices, even when we do RLCS. I've still got the RLCS camera angle. This is my angle for it. With the green screen up, we exist in here, we get really warm, whatever. And I think, Cole, it was our push to sort of be like, we want to be mobile. We want to be able to move around.
We wanted a set where, so the screenshot that those who are watching the video version of this podcast can see is us at our desk. That is one of the 2 or 3 places where we can be during the show. We can be standing. We can be sitting on chairs.
I can't be standing.
That's true, because you're too monstrously tall. I swear you've grown in the last year and a half. You are a taller man than you were.
I think I'm taller. I think I am.
I don't know when or how it happened, but somehow you have increased in length. But the set is genuinely beautiful. You can see the design there. Again, for those watching the podcast, you can see the lovely poster that we have behind us. You can see to Stumpy's right, to our left, is the shelf of lovely things, where each and every week we put on some cool stuff that we're sent. And if anybody wants to send anything to us, even if it's your own toenails included in a piece of art, then please send them to us. You can
DM at Jinx TV. That would be really fun, actually. If anybody wants to send us anything, you don't even need to have watched any of the episodes, but obviously watch it then when we unbox your thing. Send us a thing. If it's literally a mug with no gaming relevance whatsoever, just send us a mug. Send us a post-it picture of Cole. Just literally anything, and it will go on our shelf of lovely things. We want that to be overflowing with cool goodies. If it's like a packet of sweets,
I'll eat them.
Just nonsense stuff.
I like sweets. What sweets? Where are the sweets? Who sent in sweets? Thank you for the sweets.
It's 35 kilograms of Tang Fastix.
I bet I could. That's the thing. I hear that, and I'm not scared. I would back myself to have 35 kilograms of Tang Fastix.
You could not eat a third of your body weight in Tang Fastix.
I think I could.
I don't back you. I'm sorry.
I really would back myself to do that. 35 kg. It's not that much. Also, there's like
how much does your dog weigh?
7 kilos.
Right, so it's like 5 times
5
his
dogs.
weight.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, that's good maths.
Yeah, that's weirdly good, yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's Brexit Haribo in my local one stop.
What does that
It's called
mean?
like Bob Eats or Bobettes or something. Like sweets.
Brexit Haribo.
Genuinely, like sweets. Because there's been a Haribo shortage in the UK.
No, I didn't actually.
That's one of the things that's happened. I believe because of Brexit and not because of COVID, but they're a fun little wedding couple that are together. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like at the local one, I think it's called like Bob Eats or something like that. I need to find out.
Bobby Beats. Bobby Beats minorities. Sweet.
Nah, I can't find what it is. I'll have to take a picture next time I'm in there. But they do genuinely look like Brexit Haribo, which could be the way we're going. No more Haribo. Instead, drowning in those Bob. Could you eat 35 kilos of Bob Eats?
No, I couldn't eat 1 kilo. You couldn't eat 1 kilo. I'm telling you right now, you could not eat 1 kilogram of Haribo.
How much is one bag? One regular big bag of Haribo?
Like when you get like buying a cinema or something.
Yeah, the sort of like if you go to for a quid, the quid bags of Haribo.
Like 150, 200 grams, something like that.
So 5 of those.
Well, give it a Google first, probably.
Yeah. So okay, here's the £1 packet.
Can you pop it in the doc if you got like pictures of these packets?
Yeah, we'll do. Okay.
Shut up, Google. Shut the fuck up. Be quiet.
What's she on about?
What's she on about? Hey, Google. Shut your fucking mouth. Shut up.
There you go. So that's what I'm talking about. Right, so how big is that?
Okay.
Haribo £1 bag weight. That is...
Yeah, that weight. What's that?
If that could just tell me the weight, that'd be great. 190 grams.
Okay. So yeah, like so 5 of them. 5.5 bags of them.
I think that's doable.
You can't do that. That's a challenge for that gaming show, I reckon.
Mate, you saw me eat a 6-person cake in 24 minutes. I didn't think I could. But and then you said do it, so I did.
I got nearly there. I got to maybe about a sixth of it left or so.
Yeah, you did well. I was
about
impressed.
A slice in total. I felt sick for about 5 days. I bet you recovered.
Right, half an hour later, I was like, oh, I could do some cake.
Cake.
That half hour I didn't want cake was glorious. It was a rare moment of freedom for me.
Yeah, we're doing like cool challenges on the show as well. Basically, the plan is we can stand up and go to like the screen that we've got as well. We can go to our 2 little chairs, sit down. Instead of like a laptop, you can see in the picture of any video podcasters on YouTube, you can see that we've got like cue cards as well, and like we write our notes on those cue cards and just gesturing with them, being back on set, having an earpiece in, a mic strapped to us.
Mm-hmm.
It feels really proper and it feels amazing. And Jinx TV have smashed the set out of the park. That fills up the entire studio now. Before, the Daily Download was in a little corner. It was quite nice. It was a cute little corner, but it was ultimately in a corner. This fills up the entire long wall of a studio. It's amazing. I feel so happy, like, on Tuesdays going into London again and like having that routine of getting back into, okay, going to the studio this week. And it's just so nice.
It's a genuine evolution of Jinx as well. I mean, you were saying that Daily Download was in a corner. Lots of their shows traditionally have been in a corner. They'd be the corner and they change it to look pretty, but ultimately it's always a corner. Yeah. That gaming show, we have the whole studio that's decked out exclusively for that show. And I'm hoping that as Jinx continues to go forward with other shows that might not involve us, they take the lessons that we're learning here with that gaming show. Because ultimately as well, we have got 10 more episodes of this in this run. And there will be evolution. There will be guests coming on. There's been at least one very impressive guest that's been confirmed to be coming on one episode in the future.
We love them.
For many more. So this is a show that is going to look different and hopefully better each and every week. Well worth tuning into each and every time.
Big time.
So if you want to see it, if you want to check it out, just Google. The best way to do it is to Google Jinx That Gaming Show. And it's the second link. It's jinx.tv/videos. You'll see it. That gaming show, and you can see them all. You don't even have to make an account. Just click it and play it. Brilliant. Love it.
It's just cool and stumpy action, like polished for an hour.
Yeah.
And
cards.
so the
Mugs.
first, the cards. The first, basically, for a brief little rundown of what the show is, we in the first part we do news and stuff with like little games involved as well. So like the biggest news of the week, talking about any cool stuff that's happening or any drama that's going on as well. Then there'll be some gameplay in there as well. Gameplay is a lot of fun and like little quizzes that go on. On the most recent episode, we played FIFA and we were England versus Italy, and we were trying to go against what the result ended up being and trying to change Euro's history, which is very exciting. And then we also played Rocket League Upside Down because of a story that we saw, and we thought that'd be quite interesting. But it's just cool things. Both episodes have been different so far. It's very good. It's me and Cole being a bit more professional, but also being weird. And in person. If you want to see us in person again, Jesus Christ, it's fun.
I want there to be an audience there, at least for episode 12, when everybody's double jabbed to heck, and it turns out that the government were right all along, and let's lift all the restrictions because why not?
Yeah.
Get 100 people in there. Let's just have a good old ding dong and a sing song,
Jamie Vardy,
and do some gaming show. Yeah, let's get some vodka and Charlie.
Let's get Jamie
mashed.
Vardy involved.
Why not? Who cares anymore? You know?
You want to DM Jamie Vardy?
Anybody friends? We need somebody who's got a little tick because we don't.
I do. Oh, tick.
Yeah, not ticks.
Oh, Dick was the one. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to watch it, that gaming show. Great title that as well. That was a big old. That was a cumulative effort. That one.
Yeah.
Took a long old while to get there, but we got there. Nailed it down, locked it in. All the graphics, all the set was done by a beautiful man at Jinx called George. Amazing guy. Great team.
We need our dogs for an episode. Just seeing in chat. Hello, mystery chatter. Bringing our dogs in for an episode would be wonderful. Would Enzo love it?
On a train.
Has he never been on a train?
No, I drive him.
You'd have to drive in.
I chauffeur him.
You have to drive in, mate, with your Ford
with my
Focus.
Fiesta.
Damn it. I tried. I really tried.
You gave it a go. When's the
I went in that car. The 12th
you did?
of February.
I saw you the other day, didn't I?
Yeah.
I met little Jizzy.
Little Jizz Spam. You called him Jizz Spam every time.
Yeah, you never called him his actual name. It's way better.
It is better, isn't it? So he's actually called Jasper for any new listeners. And annoyingly, I realised that Jasper was like Jizz Spam. And I think, Stumpy, you've taken that and run with it. But you met him for the first time, and I've got to say, you're so good with dogs.
He's a wonderful little boy.
No, but in general, like, you instantly can just figure them out. It's very impressive.
He was a wonderful little boy. He's a little Cavachon.
So a Cavalier and a Bichon.
Yeah, and he was such a sweet little lad. He was so wiggly in your arms when I saw him. And then he had his big old flat wormy knob.
Oh my god, I've never seen it so big. Yeah, when I say you're good with dogs, what I mean is you're a dog prostitute, my friend, because that was like Thor's hammer.
It looked like a magma slug.
Thor's soggy hammer.
Thick and wide and flat. I don't know why it was so flat. It looked like somebody had rolled over a chorizo with a steamroller. It was incredible. Yeah,
it's so wet and slimy.
It was.
His balls are massive as well. I've never known a dog with bigger bull to dog ratio. Yeah, they stick out. They're quite dark grey as well.
God.
So they're a different colour.
You're gonna get him neutered.
Yeah, we need to.
That's fair.
Yeah, he's very happy.
Lovely little boy. I had a good time. He was sitting on my lap. He was just chilling out. I wound him up a little bit. I kept pushing him over.
He loves it.
It's funny. Yeah, he was very, very sweet. And I saw Cole's house, which was nice. I've been in that very office that he is currently existing in, which is very fun.
You saw how shit it was when the camera zooms out?
That's the one. And then you won't believe by looking at it there that it's actually not finalised.
It's doing its best.
And then you came for a ride in my car. Drove you around. Which was fun.
I like your car very much. I like that it is speedy. I like that there were weird claws going into my back that heated up that I didn't quite trust. They felt like a stag beetle that had been in a microwave for 30 seconds.
It's comfy though, right?
Yeah, a comfortable amount
comfy stag, yeah.
Stag.
Little Jizzy was in the back. He was like he was in my dog's hammock. That because my dog takes up the entire 2 back seats when he's laying down, and little Jizzy just sat on like half of a seat, just in the corner.
He was a good boy actually. Like he was just pretty chill.
He did really well.
Yeah, considering you're going at 300 miles per hour at one point, the dog was like
legally 60. Legally 60. I've already done a speed awareness course. Can't do another one. And that was on me going on my way to go and see Gregan and Shogun, which unfortunately couldn't join us for, which was a massive shame. But yeah, it was very nice. Yeah, so I went and saw Shogun and Gregan for the first time since Madrid.
Jesus.
And even then, I saw Shogun once because me and him had a little date. We went to have some tapas, and I tricked him into eating a mushroom because he thought it was chicken. The idiot. And yeah, it was lovely. We watched the football in a bar. Went to a place called Battle Bar in Norwich.
It's Denmark, wasn't
it? Norwich, Denmark.
That was the Denmark game, wasn't it, mate?
It was, mate.
Sure, you knew I meant. Yeah. Okay.
We threw some axes first, which Gregan obviously won at. It was really fun. You can throw them like two-handed overhead. Went, and that was really good. Shogun was shit. If Gregan's still in chat, yeah, we did. Yeah, we signed a waiver. Yeah. Gregan, how shit was Shogun? We both expected so much more. We let him have like a couple of goes, and Gregan turned to me and goes, "He's weirdly bad, isn't he?"
Is Shogun bad at things that aren't fighting? He's more of a blunt force kind of guy, right? Because he's like
He's a
world
fighter.
champion level kickboxing, or at least county level, good at kickboxing, hard as nails is what I'm saying. And he's good at talking, good at words and speech and that, deep voice, round head, very round,
Very famously
headed. So I'd expect him to be good at your footballs and your golfs and your tennises, but perhaps not.
Golf he won actually.
Okay.
Yeah, he won golf, which I think got on Gregan's nerves. I fucked it multiple times, and I was only 2 strokes behind
Do you know
Gregan
what?
when he was tryharding.
One thing I've always thought about Shogun is that he looks like somebody who is incredibly malcoordinated. Malcoordinated.
Is that like malformed, like kind of, therefore, like the mal is a negative prefix?
I think it's like Harry Potter's mortal enemy, Draco.
Malcoordinated.
He was ordained. What does being ordained mean? Being like a priest or whatever?
It means that you can then like commit marriages upon couples.
He does wear robes.
He does, very true. Yeah, Shogun was really shit. He threw it at one point. The guy, like, whenever Shogun, it was like sort of in like a cage type thing. Whenever Sho went to throw an axe, the guy would leave the cage because every now and then he'd throw it and it would go into the ceiling. And like the handle went through, and then it'd fall down. And Shogun at one point reached to go and grab it, and then pulled his hand back to then not go and grab the falling axe. I was okay. I think it was first to 15. Gregan got 15. I ended on 9 or something. I think Shogun got 3 or so. It was fun. It was really, really good. I enjoyed that a lot.
I've just had a memory. So you've just triggered a memory in me. On football day for the finals,
Yeah.
I watched it with some friends in Norwich, ironically. And it was your classic English drinking all day, watching the football at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
I don't remember much of the football, but one thing I've just remembered is that we played darts after everyone was smashed.
Oh my god.
And like there were now I think about it, there were very many occasions of people walking just as the dart went by and the hand touching the board as someone threw it. Like, fucking hell, yeah. God, I hate stuff like that. You'd have loved it. You'd have been like,
that.
I'll
That
flick
sounds
it backwards. Yeah, that's the sort of thing that you go crazy for, and it lands on your forehead and you don't care. But me, I'm the one who's always like, guys, should we be playing darts right now?
Boo.
But every group needs one. Every group needs one.
No.
If you bully me out of it, I make it so we go too far. Because I'm like, yeah, I can prove that I'm the old man. I'll play some darts. And they're like, yeah, let's throw at each other's foreheads. Every group needs one, and everyone always has a go at us, but we're so important. If you're the person in the group that says, guys, should we do this?
That cries.
And you're abused
everyone's
for
having
it.
too much fun.
Because Stumpy knows that his group needs a me. Whatever group you've been in, Stumpy, it's always had a me.
You're a mum.
Fine.
You're a mum.
Mum's the
And
word.
You're there saying like, guys, maybe we shouldn't have this much fun. Maybe we should be a bit more boring today. And everyone goes, oh yeah, great idea, Millsies.
I've told you about the one time I sort of tried to rebel against that, haven't I, when I was at uni in my second year. I think it was the first time we'd ever had dragon soup, and I was a bit of a drunken knobhead that night.
Explain
I didn't punch
dragon
anyone.
soup.
Dragon soup is an 8% energy drink, so 8% alcohol energy drink. But if you're not used to it, basically makes you the most hyper crazy version of drunk you've ever been. You won't sleep that night either.
It is liquid crack.
It's brilliant. And yeah, my mates and I had that for the first time, and I was like, just a bit stroppy, not my best version of drunkenness. Mm-hmm. So the next night out, I really wanted to prove that, I'm still likable old Millsies, right? So when we got home, this is normally the point where I'd say, okay, guys, let's get some food and calm down. But we had these eggs, and we were playing like egg tennis, right? Again, this is normally
Like
where
real
I'd say,
eggs.
yeah.
Okay.
This is normally where I'd say, let's not play egg tennis. But tonight I was thinking, I'm not going to be the one who ruins all the fun. So basically, we ended up chucking eggs all around the house, and also threw some of those, those liquid tabs that you put in the washing machine, flinging those around. Then the next morning, we were like, yeah. Because we also shared the flat with like 3 girls as well.
Oh my God.
And they weren't too impressed when
But I
they
bet you
came
had a good time
downstairs.
though.
We had a great
And what
time.
a memory you've made. When you're in those moments, I always say it, and maybe it takes people out of it, but if I'm drunk, I normally say to people, like, if there's a bad thing happening, I'm like, we're making a memory right now. like we're gonna remember this. Like in the moment, this will be one of the standout moments.
And
for
I
us.
do. But it's also my go-to example of when I'm not the one who says, okay, guys, should we? I then amplify
You get a story out. of it.
Because I think everyone believes that I am that guy, so they're thinking as they're throwing it, well, Emil hasn't said we shouldn't be doing this. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's me or whether it's somebody else in the group that plays that role. Also, if you scroll down a little bit to the Harry bar, there's something that's really bugging me, because I'm scrolled down lower than you are. Look at the little white semicircle in the top left. Can you see it?
White semicircle, that there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it saying rip here? Because a single Haribo would not fit through that rip.
No, that's just like part of the like. I think like the fake foldage of the packaging. It's
That's
like
just the design, is it?
like yeah, like look in the corners.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a flat image that they've then like tried to make look like they're taking a picture of a real bag of Haribo. So that's
Right.
like sort of fake plastic distortion.
Got yeah. I thought that was saying, that the tear here they often have in those sorts of things. That would have bugged me because literally you'd be like pouring the Haribo like I do, like sugar is all falling out like all over your face, and you're sort of licking your eyes and stuff like that, like I do. But no Haribo would fall out. You'd have to melt it and then drink it, like slurp it,
like a froob, like a big Haribo froob.
Could make a Haribo froob. You have to put it in the microwave and then squeeze it out.
It would be so hot. It would hurt. Okay, well that's it for the TV show. If you want to watch it, that gaming show, it's on Jinx TV. Genuinely give it a watch. It's not some boring news shit because we're there. It's fun. It's so much fun to do, and it's different content from us. And you guys fucking love us, obviously. Let's go watch it. We've got 2 episodes now. It's coming out for the next 3 months or so. Okay, Haribo, that's there as well. The next story, I just called it "Crypto is annoying me," and there isn't too much more to it than that, if I'm being honest. But I was just thinking of topics that we can write. So this will be very quick because we've got England to come up and also Twitter questions. So don't worry, guys. Basically, there was recently, and there's been a big old influx, and I've seen it on Reddit as well. This isn't just like people scamming their fans with the Save the Kids token and whatever. This has been a massive push after like. Obviously, Bitcoin has been huge for a very long time. There's like Dogecoin. I own like, I think $30 of Dogecoin, so that would just be quite fun.
Nice.
I remember at uni, I mined Dogecoin on my laptop. And I think I have like a few thousand, but I destroyed my laptop's hard drive. So I no longer have that. Yeah, I don't think it's
Silly,
worth much. Yeah. And yeah, so basically, there's just been a big old push at the moment for general crypto stuff. And the first thing that annoys me is that I browse Reddit typically on r/all, right? I just like looking at every subreddit. Yeah. But on my computer, I go on front page. On my phone, I go on all. Don't know why.
Interesting.
It's just, yeah. And the amount of like, they call it like crypto moonshots, where it's like people like wanting to like go to the moon like with a brand new like crypto coin, buy in now because that means that then it will skyrocket and whatever. We can go there together. Obviously, all scam coins. Like people have already bought in at pre-sale. It's the whole like pump and dump scheme that is just so massive at the moment. My feed just being filled with them pissed me off for crypto. And then after now, there's been all this like Save the Kids stuff, which I'd recommend everybody going and Googling about. Don't want to get too far into that, but basically there have been various members of like influencers and whatever, like Rice Gum, etc., who went into this Save the Kids token, made all of their fans buy it, inflated the price massively, and then sold it off and profited from that. It's just annoying me that there is so much of a focus on crypto right now because that's all anyone's fucking talking about, and it's just getting boring.
There's also NFTs, which is non-fungible tokens, which is basically... Let's go back to that Haribo picture. It's a virtual picture, right? It exists to be replicated infinite numbers of times. But if you whack an NFT on that bad boy, then you can own the OG of that picture of the Haribo Tang Fastics. And with Brexit, everyone going on to Bubbits or whatever the hell they're called, maybe that picture of Haribo is going to be worth a fortune in the future. And OG, the that's funny I said OG because it's also OG the org. OG have made $1 million selling 3 NFT drops, which means
I don't get it.
On 3 occasions, they've said, here's some concept art, or here's a picture of no tail and fly smiling.
Yeah.
If you want to own it, then you can for thousands of dollars, and people own it virtually.
I fundamentally don't understand it because the one explanation that I've seen is people say, "Oh, it's built into the blockchain," and I'm like, that means fundamentally nothing to me because I don't know what those words mean. I think it's partially ignorance on my behalf, and also partially I feel like a bit of a boomer, so I'm kind of resenting all this new stuff happening. But I just don't understand it. I don't understand why you'd want an NFT. I don't think they're going to last in any meaningful way. And we spoke about this in the studio, though, where it's like to relate it to like cash money.
Dollar bills, y'all.
to
Go on, mate.
to like a £20 note. That note is worth nothing. There's just that agreement between you and the bank and people that is worth £20, which also means nothing.
Do you reckon when it came in, back in the day when people used to trade hand jobs and building materials and shells, at some point someone said, this piece of paper is worth 15 shells and 2 hand jobs, and everyone said, oh, make it 1 hand job, you got yourself a deal.
Well, it started with...
Not a fan of them.
It started with... like coins actually being made out of gold and stuff. So you would then have an actual rare material, as that you were then giving them a rare material that was then cut into a coin shape.
Yeah, okay. So it was at least shiny.
It was at least a material, yeah. I know that for Christmas in 2020, that Christmas, I bought Chaz a coin from I think ancient Greece that like existed then, that is like 3,000 years old or something, 2,500 years old, and it's like literally that big. Also, I don't think you can really see, like really small, like smaller than a 5p, real small, and yeah, it's like 2,500 years old, whatever it is, and that had like the like emperor's head on it, or like Apollo or something, who's like the god of theatre or like performing or something, and that's just really cool. And like I get why something like that back in the day made sense, because it was like, it was a piece of like silver or whatever it ended up being that had actual, but did it have actual value?
Well,
I don't understand money.
So Kevin in our chat has said, didn't money basically start as an IOU? And actually, if you think about it, that's quite fascinating, right? Say you build me shelter, and I happen to be really good with pigs, so I'm like, right, I'll rear you 10 pigs in 6 months' time.
Oh, cheers, mate.
So you build my shelter, and I give you a coin or a piece of paper saying IOU, right? Saying that I'll give you 10 pigs in 6 months' time, right? But then, let's say you want something else, right? You then want a nice coat. So you go to the local tailor and you say, listen, shush, because I'm going to lose my track. Shut the fuck up. You go to the local tailor and you say, look, I've already got my shelter. I want a coat. I can't offer you anything now, but my mate, Emilian, he owes me 10 pigs. So if I give you this paper, he will then owe you 10 pigs. And suddenly, there's an objective value to the piece of paper that I've given you. You've handed over that favour. Isn't that fascinating? Imagine when that was first happening, people thinking, does that make sense? I think it does make sense.
My farmer's priorities are so out of whack. Where I'm there thinking, right, I'm a farmer. I do need some pigs, though. I'm trying to get in some pigs. I'm thinking, no, I'd rather a coat. I'd rather have a coat, please, Mr. Taylor. Thank you. I'm in this field generating no more pig tokens. Just with a pretty nice coat on.
It's on the blockchain, all right? That's what you'll say.
Pig token. Oh, can we found pig token?
No, don't joke, because as soon as you're a greedy little gremlin goblin, as soon as someone comes to you and says, "Oh yeah, pig tokens, I can make that happen," you'll make $10. You would sell out the SubPar community for $10 and 10 pigs and a coat from a tailor.
Cole, pigtoken.finance. The line on Google, pig token has an innovative NFT farm where you can stake pig tokens.
For fuck's sake.
What does that mean?
Yeah, fuck off with it.
Oh, and immediately, Colin, it's opened up with the original black hole token. What does that mean? Man, I'm going to buy pig token.
It means it's the first black hole token, mate. But is it fungible? It's
unruggable, it's decentralized, and it's got whale shock safety.
Okay, let's figure this out. So decentralized means that it's worth the same everywhere, right? It's worth the same in Uganda as it is in Colorado, as it is in your empty pig.
In my field.
Pig house, yeah.
I want to buy pig.
Okay, what do the other words mean? Non-whaleable.
No whale, like whale stock shock or something.
Wait, okay.
Oh, it's worth 0.00000006556 US dollars.
Wow.
I'm gonna buy high on pig token. I believe in pig token. Do you know what I mean? Like I've always said it.
So
I've always said that I believe in pig token spiked in on May 11th. Really spiked. We're going down, boys. But that's the pre-spike to the real spike.
We are no longer sponsored by rocket-league.com. We are instead sponsored by Pig Token.
Yeah.
So if you want 10,000 Pig Token, buy it, and we'll give one pig to charity for every 10,000 pigs that are tokened fungibly.
I'm confused.
It is a little bit Willy Wonka, isn't it? Welcome, children, to the Pig Token, where the fungible conjumins must flop their way in the flamflace.
Flurb my NFT wallpaper.
Ha ha ha! You lose, sir. You lose all the piggy teas.
Hashtag good data. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand NFTs. I don't understand crypto. It's all scam. Don't buy any crypto that any influencer is saying, I believe in it. If anybody says, Logan Paul recently has been saying that someone called like Dink Doink or something.
Fuck
I
yourself.
fucking hate
Why
it,
are they
right?
ruining the word doink? That's an honourable term.
And they said, and he's like one of the founders of it, or like they've given a load of it on pre-sale, and it's trying to hype it up, but keeps referring to it as shitcoin, keeps referring to it as a meme coin.
Right.
But then therefore that's then making people be like, oh yeah, I'll buy it because now it's funny. Yeah, Logan Paul says it's funny. Don't do it. You're going to lose money. Don't listen to anything Logan fucking Paul has to say. That's how I'm finishing off. Crypto is annoying me. Don't listen to Logan Paul.
Yeah, like, at some point, Bitcoin might be normal, so you don't have to worry about exchange rates, etc., and that would be kind of cool. But then what happens when we colonize Mars? Is Bitcoin worth different on Earth and Mars?
I also fucking hate Elon Musk. He
was
started.
an Iron Man too.
He was an Iron Man too for some reason.
Yeah, I didn't... yeah.
Weird, right?
Yeah, weird. He's a bit of a pig coin, isn't he?
He is a pig coin. I'm going to buy a pig coin. If I can... Tell you what, hang on. Can I buy... I've got a crypto app on my phone. Oh, I picked up the wrong phone. Hang on. Cole, how much pig coin should I buy if I can buy it? I've got an account on a thing called
Spend
Kraken.
30 quid.
30 quid on pig coin?
Mate, you will spike it yourself. Yeah, do it for the content.
Okay, hang on. Trade pig. New order.
Here we
What
go.
the-
It's happening.
No, not Bitcoin.
Don't reference him. I miss him.
Can I buy pig? I bet I can't buy pig coin. I can buy sushi
Is it there?
coin.
Is it there? Sushi coin. Why is it called that?
No. Oh my! I can buy some Australian dollars.
Right, mate. Let's move on because this is going to be a 17-hour podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
Of
Well,
you
I
looking at
can't.
your phone.
I can't buy pig coin. That's a shame.
That is a
Okay.
shame.
So should we have a quick
Why do you have two
navigation?
phones? Are you a drug dealer now?
No, because this is my old phone. I bought a new phone. This is my old phone, my old Note 8, and then I recently got an S21 Ultra with a massive
Ooh.
fucking chunking
Yeah.
camera block on the back.
Mate, it's too big. It can't even upload pictures to Discord.
That's well annoying. Yes, the pictures are 12,000 by 9,000 on like the 108 megapixel camera on the back, which is genuinely frustrating. It's very annoying, but that's a Discord issue. But otherwise, yeah, should we move on to the Euros? Bow, bow, down, down, bow, bow.
Yeah, it was sad. It was good. It was happy. We scored after 2 minutes. I was in a drunken haze. It genuinely felt like a dream.
Yeah.
After about 6 hours of drinking, and I didn't. I thought it was one of those ones where you think you're gonna get takeaway. Didn't get takeaway. Suddenly it was
Wow.
football time. Too late for takeaway. I had a.
You have to
all I had all
pre-book it,
day
don't you?
Was I didn't even know that. All I had all day was breakfast, and then like a pot of super noodle, like a super noodle pot.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't even remember tasting. I probably ate it boiling. I was so drunk. Just like, yeah, this is probably cold enough. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking the whole time, like, did I eat the pot noodles? I think I did. And then next thing I know, we've just scored. We've taken it. I was like, what on earth is going on? Celebrations everywhere. And
Sure,
then I
just toe punting it in.
Oh, so it's such a nice finish. And then I'm pretty sure we defended for the rest of the match.
We defended for about 120 minutes. It was, yeah, people know how it went. Came down to penalties, couple of misses. And then, yeah, it was 3-2 to Italy in the end. Congratulations, Italy. Pricks. But what I would say is that I thought there was around the country, a good feeling throughout the Euros. It's the same as it was for the World Cup when we got to the semis last time.
Mm-hmm.
Just the feeling around the country, whenever there's international football on and we actually have a good squad, it feels nice. You know football a lot more than I do. I'm very layman's in terms of it. But I always liked it. On my local co-op, they had like England flags. Easiest flag to draw if you're a kid, by the way. The background's already done with a bit of paper. Brilliant. And like all the kids from the local school, like put them up in the windows and whatever. All the car flags, all the house flags. People like just referencing the matches. Brilliant stuff. Lovely atmosphere all around the country.
It gets people chatting as well. The morning after, when I was picking up some snacks before I travelled home, I had a little chat with a person at the shop, and she was saying she's not into the football at all, but she watched it and she got really sad, and I was like, oh no, it sucks, you know.
Right.
She was saying you look hungover, and I was like, yes, I am, and she was saying she was too, which is the little talking points around the country. That's the good side.
Yes.
The bad side is a bunch of wankers, really. A bunch of racist
pricks.
wankers, which thankfully have been swamped. So, long story short, if anybody doesn't know, 3 players missed the penalty shootout for England, who all happened to be black players. And scumbags on Twitter, etc., took that as an excuse. Excuse me. Not just English scumbags as well, around the world, took that as an excuse to racially abuse these players. All of whom are absolutely lovely, by the way. This is Marcus Rashford, who you may have heard about, who's done so much good politically.
Incredible.
Literally made the most stubborn government of all time, the UK government, do a U-turn to feed starving children. Bukayo Saka, who before all this happened, I'd been saying for a while was my favourite player because he is just so sweet. I saw an interview with him. He's just an absolute darling. He's 19, the cutest kid in the world. Yeah. Really smart as well.
Humble
he was saying in this
too.
interview. Yeah, he was saying in this interview that he got like all 9s and 8s, which is like all A stars and A's in old money. So really intelligent kid. I don't know as much about Sancho, but he seems like an all right dude to me.
Everyone absolutely loved him in our Discord and stuff. People like saying how just incredible he is. He plays in like the German league, doesn't he?
He's moved to Man U now.
Has he? Okay.
For next season,
yeah. And yeah, people were just like, I think it was the German league. People were saying like he is world class. People were questioning why he isn't on more, basically, because he's like that incredible up front. Yeah.
And some people racially abuse them. So Marcus Rashford, in the tiny town in Manchester where he comes from, there was this mural of him because he's like the local boy done good. And I didn't see what it was defaced with, but somebody defaced that mural. Did you see what it was?
No, I just saw it had like people had already covered up the defacing with bin bags.
That's what I saw from. Yeah, which is probably for the best because I don't actually particularly care what the person who defaced it said.
The
or
racist
thought or wrote.
scumbag, yeah.
What I do care about is all the messages of love that have been sent to him. And I've seen on Twitter 9-year-olds, little 9-year-old English people saying, "You're still my favourite player. You did amazingly."
Yeah.
I believe that the love has overwhelmed the hate, but that's easy for me to say, not being in the centre of it all. But I hope that is the case.
The fact that any of that hate happened is just so disgusting.
Sad.
It's sad. It's absolutely abysmal. I did feel I felt horrible looking at everything that had been said to these incredible players who, by the way, the entire time, everyone in the country was praising them for. Everyone in the country saying, yeah, these are our players, whatever. Then they do one mistake and then suddenly they're not our players anymore. They're disgusting. They're whatever. So yeah, the fact that they have been so loved in the outpouring eventually was very, very nice to see. We just very clearly fuck literally anybody who is bigoted in any way. You are not a good human being. Please educate yourself and please learn as to why that is wrong. Yeah, I'd say that the feeling in the country, in the end, from our very white, very privileged standpoint, is that people were giving a lot more love than hate in the end, which is obviously what's needed. It should have been 100% love and support is what those players needed. But otherwise, one thing that I really liked is people being annoyed, firstly, at its coming home. I think that's part of the game, right? Part of the game when England are playing is that we do become a bit obnoxious, like fun obnoxious, like bantery obnoxious, where we're chanting, it's coming home. We're saying, yes, we're going to win, obviously. I was posting on Discord against Denmark saying, easiest match of our lives. We may put on our B team, who cares?
Which
right?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, easiest game ever. And yeah, it's stuff like that. So we basically played the bad guy. I did find it very funny and very nice that two people that people listening might know, somebody called Ash Boyo and Tadpole, both of those guys were so anti-England. It was amazing. The stuff they were coming out with, it made me laugh so much. It's just Tadpole was hopping from team to team, whoever England were playing, and replacing the flag in his name with their flag. It was so funny. And then Ash was posting loads of memes about it too. Then in the end, they replied to some tweets of handshakes and whatever. So all nice stuff. And it was fun in that regard. But then some people being genuinely annoyed and really getting upset about it. I feel like they don't get the point of the song that says "It's Coming Home." It's 3 lines on a shirt. it's a deliberately like memey song. In there it says like, we know we're gonna lose. Like, it's happened all before. Like, we know that we're going to lose it again, obviously, but it's coming home. Like, it's that false confidence. That's the entire purpose of that song.
It was 30 years of hurt when the song came out, and now we're up to 55 now.
Referencing the 1966 World Cup win. Ooh.
Hey, we did it!
Yeah, so a lot of people didn't get it, but oh well.
I did something I've never done before, and I drunk tweeted, which is bad. But
I
apparently,
saw your drunk tweet.
Apparently, 11 p.m., which must have been moments after we lost that penalty shootout, I tweeted, GG's, can't wait till World Cup 2022 when it fucking comes fucking home, with about 10 love heart emojis. That's a date. Drunk me needs to not go on Twitter, because it just can't end well in my position. But thankfully that wasn't so bad.
And one thing as well that I find quite funny is that song is written for the World Cup, for like saying the World Cup's coming home. I like the fact that we reference "It's Coming Home" to a trophy that the song isn't about. I think that's like got a nice bit of delicious irony about it. It's sort of now become generally more of an international win of a tournament is coming home, because we can't be too specific with what we want, can we?
I think where people are going wrong in their annoyance of it is that they think we're only singing it now because we're in a purple patch and we've reached the semi-finals and then a finals. Mm-hmm. And if we were to go out in the group stages next year already, we'd stop singing it. But they're wrong. I'd sing it twice as loud. If we go out to Azerbaijan, Senegal, and Germany in the group stages, getting no goals, I am singing louder than ever before about how it's gonna come home at Euro 24.
Yeah.
That is the point. That is the beauty of it.
Yeah, everybody. We sing it literally at any given moment, because firstly, it does annoy some other countries, which is quite nice and fun, that it's all bantery and nice. And secondly, because it's also just quite catchy, and there's just a lot of like
it's a really good song.
It's just quite nice, really. So yeah, don't take it all too seriously. It's all very fun. Otherwise, England lost. Well done, Italy. Congratulations, getting another one, assholes.
Wankers.
Twitter questions. Should we move on to just a few Twitter questions before we end the episode?
Yeah, we should do these pretty quickly. So let's rush through them. So let's go for each one, but just really quick. So Stumpy, what kind of fruits are S tier from @DiabolicalPizza?
I don't like many fruits. I don't like berries very much, and I'm going off just eating the fruit as it is, not like as part of a smoothie or something.
Speed, mate. Come on.
Okay. A green apple. I like a Granny Smith in the fridge specifically, or because the name is Diabolical Pizza, I like pineapple on pizza with a salty accoutrement.
Me too. I also like pineapple on pizza. People are weird about that. I would say pineapple actually is S tier. I wasn't going to say pineapple. I was going to say raspberries, but you know what? I'll change to pineapple.
Respect. What do you think are some of the most interesting parts of history from what do you think are some of the most important parts of history? Talacto.
I think we went through it earlier with the invention of money. Should we go with that? I'm not a historical man, really. Do you know much?
Invention of money.
Yeah, that is fascinating.
I went to a fair the other day. Probably shouldn't say where it was, to be fair. But it was at like a famous battle site in the UK, and I was reading a load of signs about that, like about a historical battle that happened like 800 years ago, and that was quite interesting.
Cool. Next one is from @HelloCitrus, who asked, how did Linnea's surgery go? Stumpy?
It actually went all right. She is now a one-legged girl. She actually had her second leg removed and placed on her upper back so that she can lean backwards like a table and just rest. Yeah.
It's pretty
nice.
hot.
Yeah. From @explaining sub... The boys are back in town. Catch the podcast at http://twitch.tv/subparbitnhd at 11 a.m. My question, more than that gaming show, watch-alongs in the future... More that gaming show watch-alongs in the future, or was it just a once-off? A one-off? Fucking Christ. Jesus Christ, why is our account... We still don't know who that is, but please learn to spell.
Yeah, learn a little bit. Just like 10% grammar. I'd be up for more that gaming show. There's so much we need to do with stream, by the way. We still need to go through all our scripts.
Yeah, we do.
We need to play some games together. We need to watch back some videos together.
we need to play It Takes Two.
Yes, we definitely do. We can do that tomorrow. Are you free tomorrow? Am I free tomorrow? I think I'm free tomorrow.
Let me have a look at my calendar.
All right, well, we'll figure it out.
I've got therapy.
It's Thursday.
I've got therapy tomorrow, which is cool.
Will they tell you to play It Takes Two after?
Maybe. That's at 11:30 is my therapizzle.
So, yes, more watch-alongs in the future for sure.
Heck yeah. I'd like to do a watch-along, so I wasn't there for that one.
Yeah, definitely. How do you think 2v2 tourneys could be best introduced to professional RL from @Bilgeman?
just as a tournament. Like, I think it was really good seeing the Appjack Jorias versus Tachi Steak. I think that introduced people. I think, Cole, you're one of the people also was introduced to as 2v2 is fucking legit, like as a tournament mode. I think I'd just like to see more TOs run it as a straight tournament with RLCS talent. That's what's needed. I don't think you can have a bubble level 2v2 tournament, because realistically, I wouldn't watch. I don't want to watch that. I want to watch the best of the best do it. I think now is a very good time to do it. I'd like to see Johnny Boy do it, because he just has got a lot of love, passion, and knowledge about 2v2. I like to see teams also represent their teams as that, their organizations, because that adds a level of legitimacy. And it should just be done for at the high level that it can be done at. Previously, we've had the Universal Open, that was 2v2 competition. That should return. I'd like to see it also introduced as show matches IRL at the next RSS LAN or whatever LAN that ends up being. Would you agree?
There you go. Yeah, I think so too. I definitely agree that I would rather watch, even if their 2v2 skills aren't quite as good, I would rather watch 3v3 pros play 2v2, maybe with a few 2v2 wildcards. Then over time, you introduce more 2v2 wildcards. What I'm saying is that I don't want to see, like, these are the best 2v2 players in the world that I've never heard of.
I agree.
I'd rather watch people I have heard of play, and then slowly but surely the 2v2 experts can wedge their way in.
Yep, I would agree. I agree. From @GamingAl113, I may not be giving you money, but can I still get a fuck off?
Fuck off!
You actually gave it.
Yeah. Why do you think Collegiate RL is so big in NA yet so small in EU? From @F19G.
Because collegiate sports aren't very big here generally. In the US, they're bloody huge. I would say too big and genuinely quite ridiculous. Sort your priorities out. Get healthcare going, and then maybe fund American football. Yeah, I think there's just a big collegiate scene generally in the US compared to EU. However, that doesn't mean that there is not the interest there for it in EU. Some universities in EU have got a big sporting scene. I know for a fact that Nottingham Trent has got a huge sporting scene. Their varsity side of it all is massive. They love it. It just needs to have more involvement from the people who are organising these competitions. I'd like to see Silex, for example, host something collegiate in EU, but genuinely change the name from collegiate, because that's just not a word in EU. Like we don't say that. Call it like university RL or something. But yeah, I've been giving you money for half a decade. Why and how are you? Why and how did you scam me with your ginger ways? From @Modus Zin.
It's just the look, really. I just sort of look like someone you want to throw things at. If they happen to be coins, then so be it. If they happen to be, you know, like eggs or used toilet roll or sadness, then it might be that as well. But it happens to be money for you, which is good.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's it. Cool, Cole. That was episode number 66, 3 lines on a shirt.
Coming home. You outro. You outro. I'll sing in the background.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for listening to episode 66 of the SubPar Poddy C. Officially,
unofficially coming home.
the best episode that we've ever done and hosted by us. Have a good rest of your day, everybody. Thank patrons. Is that what you said?
Yeah, thanks, patrons.
Thank you very much, patrons, for funding this. If you guys want to help us out on patreon.com/subpar.nhd, let us know. Pop it on there. $1 a month, you get to watch these early. All the video ones early. You get to listen to a day in advance. And you can download every episode to listen to them offline if you're going on a train journey, which you can all do now. Have a good rest of your day, team. We'll see you soon. Don't buy crypto from Logan Paul.
It's coming.
Football's coming home.
Hey.